You guys ready to have some fun? Because I've seen a few of these videos floating around the internet where people will take a turbocharger and mount it on top of a compressed air tank or whatever and fill that tank up with firewood, and the smoke from the fire will spool up the turbos, which shoves more oxygen into the system, which gets things burning even hotter, and the cycle repeats itself until it just spools out of control. It's a big old bundle of rowdy redneck fun. So you guys know me. Naturally, I had to go out and build the biggest one that's ever happened. I even got some compound turbos up there off a 6.4 Power Stroke, which I don't think compounds have been done on a system like this. We also have a 240-gallon air compressor tank with 1/4-inch thick walls. This thing is solid and it is huge. We have different ports, air fittings, whole oiling system to keep the turbos happy so that they can spool up to whatever RPM they feel like spooling up to. And I go into all the details of how I built this thing later in the video. Also, as you guys can see, it is bolted to the flatbed of my truck. Because when it's bolted to a truck, one, it makes it way easier to transport around. But also now we can get this thing spooling up and spitting flames and then drive through town. We can do donuts while it's running. The options are endless now that it's mounted on a truck. So I'm stoked about that little feature we got going on here. Now once we blow up these little 6.4 Power Stroke turbos, I have 3 giant semi-truck turbos I'm going to compound all together. And hopefully they will run on enough to where this thing will be glowing red hot, and they should build enough boost pressure to where in its weakened red hot state, maybe this whole tank will explode. So that's going to be the end goal. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the burn barrel saga. But as for now, let's get on with the rest of this video. So I'm missing the pipe to compound this turbo into this turbo. So I'm just going to weld these pieces of aluminum in and make this sort of elbow deal. Welding this section of pipe on this turbo outlet. I'm just burning in that filler rod. Got a big gap to fill there. This part's welded on. I'm gonna get this elbow in there. And I think we're just gonna weld it right here and hold off right here for now, because I may wanna clock this housing later on after I get the turbo mucked up there. But I have also welded this flange on, as well as this exhaust, which has the same bolt pattern as the stack that's on my old truck, so we'll put that stack on. Alrighty. Here I'm welding on a little pedestal I made to support the turbos, and then heaving them up there now. They fit up there nicely. Okay, this hole is cut out of the side. Look how thick this metal is. It's like a 1/4-inch wall in this compressor tank. But anyways, I got this pipe running along the side. It's going to charge the fresh air into here. And then this elbow perfectly fits on that circle. So we'll weld it there and there. And I really like how this feeds in, because it goes in a slight downward angle, which I like, because I didn't want to plumb it way down low, because so much soot and ash and whatnot is going to accumulate down low that I don't want to be blowing directly into that. So I wanted it up a little bit while still getting down to the base of the fire good. I think it's going to swirl really good, make for a really hot fire to feed those turbos. This is going to be my fill port for the wood. Boom, there's my loading port. So we'll just load pieces of wood that are small enough to fit through there, and seal it up with 8 bolts. So now the only thing left is to run my 2 up pipes. Here are those up pipes now. I used some cast iron pipe fittings and then welded them to a flange that I cut out that has the same bolt pattern as the inlet of the turbos. After that, I welded the steel flange to the steel vertical pipe that runs the length of the barrel, and that flange bolts to the aluminum flange of the turbo housing. Next, I put this ball valve on so I can control the air going into the turbo like a throttle, and then I welded this rebar handle on so I could control it from down lower. So we're going to need a ton of firewood for this burn barrel. And if you guys may have remembered old Mike here with the brush and personnel carrier.
Good afternoon.
That we hauled with Dave Sparks' semi a few months back. I remember seeing that he had quite the stockpile of firewood, and he freaking hooked me up. So we have plenty of wood to burn. Now Mike, I brought you a little gift.
Why is it so heavy?
So I'm from Florida and we call this lighter knot. This is a special phenomenon. Basically when a pine tree dies, a very traumatic death. In some cases,
like it gets caught up in a liquor store robbery or something.
More so like a lightning strike.
Oh, gotcha.
Perhaps.
Fair. Sorry, I went a little urban there. Yeah. Sorry.
So, at its last ditch effort at life, if it's able to, it'll try to take all its sap and cure it in this heartwood, and then shed out an outer layer of deadwood. So basically, what you end up with is stuff that's just super rich and vibrant with sap and resin in there.
Oh, that's sexy.
So give that
you
a
use
smell.
this for firewood starting then.
Yeah, this will be better than any starter block on the market. Burns hot.
Look at the oil pour out of it.
Yeah, just starts oozing.
The freaking sap.
Some more features of it is that it's completely waterproof, bug proof. It'll never decompose. It'll always look like this. And I used to make artwork out of it. If I was able to find a lot, I would make a giant bonfire with it. And it burns like 5 times as vibrant and as hot as normal wood. Maybe 10
That's
times.
awesome, my brother.
So it's super heavy.
It is super heavy.
So it's just dense with fuel.
Keep it like that and just tap the little lens off of it as I need to go around and use that up.
But that's better than any fire starter on the market.
Thank you so much.
Hauled it out here from Florida for you.
All natural.
Yeah, all natural.
That won't ruin my childhood or steal it.
Nope.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you for all the wood.
No,
I'm excited.
My pleasure. That's a cool piece of wood.
Mm-hmm. I think he likes it. Alrighty, I plasma cut some holes and then bolted it down. I was even able to grab this cross member of the flatbed with the front bolts. So it's on there solid. It's a really nice day out, so I decided to work outside. But now I have the turbos pulled off. I have the forklift helping me support it. Because now I'm on this face connecting to my up pipes, I'm gonna put the sealant on that's supposed to be good to like 2,000 degrees. So I'll put it there and here for good measure too. And then we shouldn't have any boost leaks. Okay, I finished my oiling system. Got this big drum of waste engine oil. Then I'm going to run through this transfer pump, which I hope is going to deal with the oil all right. It'll pump it through this filter, which is an oil filter. So hopefully that oil system works well. So they'll pump through this hose. Tee off here. These zip ties are temporary. I'm going to probably tack weld this together right there. But then it tees and goes up these 2 stainless lines and feeds into the tops of the turbos. And then the drains are these cast iron pipes that come together and tee together, and they can run down here to this flex steel hose and just drain back into the barrel like that. All right, starting things off with some lighter knot. Alrighty, let me get some more clothing on. That seems like
steel toes didn't help you?
Nah, steel toe flip flops. I don't think I'm gonna cut it for tonight. Oh yeah, fueling her up.
It's the car battery on the roof of the truck, hooked up to a bunch of things that I don't understand.
All right, our fire went out, but not for long. Get in there.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to. Soak this in.
Stick it in there, bud.
I'm trying.
Get in there, bud.
It won't go. Is that all you got? Hey.
Okay.
Oh man.
Go for it. Yeah.
Did you see that little ring? Oh yeah. Oh jeez, I didn't know you were doing that.
Modifications I've made is I made these new 2 ports down low so we can stoke our fire better and flow more oxygen in off the initial startup. Because I think we need to build up some coals first, because then the coals will survive after we seal everything up. They can keep their heat without oxygen for a little bit while we get air flowing through the turbos. I added a airline fitting there, then we'll control with the valve. Added another one up there feeding in to the mouth of that turbo on a valve. And also I noticed that where my up pipes feed into the turbo, they were leaking a little bit. So I tracked down these gaskets I'm going to put in there. So that should seal that up. And with all those mods, I think we'll be ready for our next test run.
Hey, you sure you don't want to throw some in? Right here while you're over.
I don't want to get exploded. Well, we just had 2 girls show up that don't know what's going on, so we just wanted to get their reactions. But right now, we're sealing everything up, and we'll feed the rest of the wood into the top, because we're above this level now with wood. Then, once everything's sealed up and the only open port left is the inlet of the turbo, I'll shove a bunch of air through it with the blower, and that should get things burning so hot that it starts bellowing so much smoke that it starts running the turbine wheels of the turbos. And then it should take off on itself from there. So, getting really close.
I'm excited. We're gonna blow up, bro.
And then once I get the blower going up top, that's game time. So we'll do that right now. Everything's sealed off right now. So it looks like the turbos are leaking a little oil out the exhaust side. So that's probably going to catch fire once this thing takes off. So I want to wrap the oil feed lines with aluminum foil to protect them from melting. Even though they are like metal braided, I think they're still plastic on the inside. So I want to try to keep those alive, because we might have a big old external fire on the top of this thing, but that adds to the excitement.
That's all right. We got fire extinguisher right there, Hunter.
We got a little fire extinguisher, yep. Got a little bit of extra air coming. I'm gonna try to plant this bottle of gasoline in there, and hopefully it's just gonna like smolder until we get more oxygen into it, and it won't like combust and explode, but we need a little extra energy to get these turbos fluid. If there's no oxygen, it's not gonna explode. Once this blower gets going, open that wide open and then go to the tow truck. Just tend to.
Boom.
Yeah. Don't freak out, people. There's no oxygen in the system.
As you can see, I'm standing pretty far back because look at the thing. That does not look trustworthy. Florida man. Florida man doing Florida man things. Florida man truck. Florida man smoke. Florida man, Florida man. Florida man bomb.
Ain't gonna do it with the air that we have tonight. We're so close to success, and literally all we need is more air, because we'll literally have gasoline just pulled up at the bottom of the burn barrel, and there's not enough oxygen getting into the system for it to do anything. So I think I found a solution to it. It is this, a giant compressor. This thing is no joke. Has a 6-cylinder turbo diesel engine. So this is gonna give us awesome pressures as well as a ton of volume of air. And that's gonna get the coals burning hot enough as well as the rest of the fuel in the burn barrel to where it'll be off gas and enough smoke and exhaust that it's gonna spool up those turbos and it's gonna get rowdy. But that's gonna have to be in the next video. So subscribe and stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys there.